Yo, you frustrated with AWS networking? Don't worry. Whatever question you have, ask. Fire away. I'll help you out. Yeah, I'm very frustrated. First of all, what is a VPC? What's a VPC? Great question. Well, first of all, before we get into what a VPC is, we need to actually decide where the VPC will live. That's right. AWS has this global infrastructure that spans across the world, over 34 plus regions out there. And you need to decide where your application is going to be, and then you can start to figure out what a VPC is. So it might be in US East 1 here in America on the East Coast, or it might be US West 2 on the West Coast of America, or it might be in China. Wherever it is, you got to make that decision first. All right. So my VPC has to live somewhere. I got to know more about the global infrastructure. Well, thanks a lot. I'll choose a region, and now I can get access to multiple availability zones. Right. Your question was, what was a VPC? So now that we know where the VPC will live, I'll tell you more about a virtual private cloud. When I think about a virtual private cloud, I think about a neighborhood. When I'm creating a virtual private cloud, I have a logical network where my application will be deployed. And just like a neighborhood, with the street sign, there's a number that talks about where the addresses of the homes will start. With the VPC, that is similar to a neighborhood in the street sign, is a CIDR range. That's right, there are a range of IP addresses we call a CIDR range. And this range of IP addresses will be allocated towards the compute units and the endpoints that you store in your virtual private cloud. But in order to get connected to those AZs or availability zones, don't I need to create subnets? What are subnets? Great second question. A subnet. The subnet or subnetwork is where the real network happens. We created a range of IP addresses for our VPC. Now we need to divvy up that range across different subnets. We will decide if people can come inside of our subdivision or our subnetwork, if you will, in a public manner. Or there might be portions of the neighborhood that are blocked off, where folks can't just come right in. They would need to have special access in order to enter into these private areas so that you can have a public subnet or private subnet. Okay, cool. So far, I got that I need the global infrastructure. My VPC is like a neighborhood, so I got to choose enough addresses for my neighborhood. Cool. And now I can start to divvy up that VPC into subnetworks. Well, this is starting to make sense a little bit. But what about accessing my network? I mean, I might not want folks to access the network. So how do I handle that? Great question. A route table. What is it? Well, a route table is an IP table that charts out destination and target. All that means is if we want public access, then a part of a route table, we need to describe an internet gateway that provides that public access. As long as we can talk about IP addresses that can reach an internet gateway, then at that moment, we'll have public access around those public subnets that we talked about. But that won't be the only route in the route table. We would also have a route that allows you to speak locally, meaning a private route so that all the compute units and other endpoints within that VPC could all speak to each other. So we need to now assign the subnets to the route table that need public access with a route to the internet gateway. And if there are subnetworks or subnets that are private, we need to create a separate route table for those. And then it would only have private routes. So I wonder if that helped you out. Go on your journey now and create your VPC. Understand that the VPC is like that neighborhood. It has a certain number of IP addresses or addresses that has to be unique. And you can divvy up that neighborhood into subdivisions, or what we call in AWS networking, subnets. Once you got your subnets working, now you can assign these subnets to different route tables, which acts as a router into public or private areas. And if you just need to inspect what's going on or be notified on types of access around your VPC, then you need VPC flow logs. Now, I hope that you're less frustrated and you're ready to dive back into that tutorial and handle it. You got this, right? I'm out of here. I'll see you later. Let me know if you need any more help. Bye-bye.